Hey, what's up, sports fans? Welcome to the DFS 5 pack. We are here to break down the baseball slate for today. No NBA. We are on a hiatus till the playoffs start next week, which is only a couple of days away. I would encourage you guys to shimmy over to the website to get your hands on a membership. Again, nothing is for sure, but if I can hang my hat on one thing in DFS, it is the first couple games of the playoffs when people don't know how to adjust from the regular season. So let's make that money. We got Bellman flat now in the middle of GPP time for MLB. Let's get those dollars.
Man, this is like a great time for NBA. I just think that people are slow to adjust no matter what the change is. Like they're slow to adjust for guys sitting out. They're slow to adjust when it happens to change to playoffs. That's a great time for us to pounce.
Absolutely, guys. So head on over to Overlay to get your money in as well. Another one thing that we don't talk about with them, we've brought up the excellent customer service, but one of the things you have to like about this is yesterday when a bunch of the guys didn't start, like if it's not what they deem as fair, they just refund your account. So like I played in the $2.50 one yesterday and they actually gave me $3 back because some of the matchups came off the board. So you get primetime customer service over there. We've got a couple of our customers that have been doing really well in $22 progressives. The jackpot's up to $4,300. And don't forget about the Slump Buster Challenge, which means if you enter the same contest 20 times and don't cash, they refund the entirety of your entries. It's a good business model to continue to grow your customer loyalty.
They're basically like paying you to play. So get on it. You can't beat it. And the jackpot for NBA is coming back soon.
Monday, I believe the games start Monday for the playoffs. I am psyched for the NBA playoffs. Oh, we're going to be busy. But like I was just realizing like they're going to do like day games all day long. So like this is going to be great for sports fans the next like couple of months. You're going to get all day NBA like every day, I think.
It's like the NCAA tournament.
But like for a month and a half or something like this is awesome.
Like, so like people who aren't into college sports, like this is obviously so much better. Sweet.
But you could hear the excitement in my voice.
Yes, I can.
I don't know if you know this, Matt, but I like the NBA.
You do, and I'm excited for you. I think that the East is going to be a battle. None of those teams look great right now.
No, so I was talking to my neighbor about this last night, and he's a big Bucks fan like I am, and he's talking about how we should curb stomp the East. I'm like, I don't think it's that easy, but I do think that we have a major advantage over a lot of other teams in the NBA, and we've discussed this. Like, we get basically a first-round bye in the essence of playing the Orlando Magic. Their best guy, Jonathan Isaac, is as far as like matching up with Giannis, is not in the game. They are banged up. It's a great way to knock the rust off, which a lot of teams don't have the ability to do. If you're the Lakers and you've been floundering, and you got to go up against who I think will be the Blazers in round one, that's going to be a tough series.
So, interestingly enough, aside from the Raptors who played Brooklyn, the team in the East that I actually think I could see making a run is Miami. And
Sure.
they do not have a hard matchup in the first round of Indiana, in my opinion. Indiana's solid, but I think Miami is better than Indiana.
I agree. I like the way Indiana plays, but they've had so many guys in and out of the lineup all year long. It's difficult for them to develop the chemistry they need to really push people.
Amen.
All right, guys. So if you are interested in just the football package, we got a 20% off sale up for a couple days here. The NFL only package, which gets you the full NFL season, is only $80 down from $100. Take advantage of that now. Save yourself $20. The season will be here before you know it. That covers postseason as well. And if the season gets canceled, which I don't think it will, but you never really know, you get a full refund.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it. Thumbs up is appreciated. Let's talk about our guy. We are both major fans of German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies. I know you and I were gushing over this guy in 2018, the second half of the season. He was arguably the best pitcher in baseball, doing that with a lot of his games there in Coors Field. He looks like that dude again this year. ERA just over 2, 27 Ks through 4 starts, whip under 1, 23.5 DK points per game, coming off his worst start of the year, which was still pretty good. So he has 30+ in his only home start this year.
Yeah, man. We both like Marquez a lot. It's really interesting what you thought about him here, because it's not that like I am in love with Marquez in this spot, because I love him as a pitcher, but in Coors it's hard to ever like be fully in love with him. However, he's very affordable at 8,300, and I just don't see the other options on this slate to really pivot off of him too. I think he looks good in all formats here. Was hoping you'd be on board, and it sounds like you are.
I'm a big fan. Like, this guy's pitched well in Coors. This hasn't been a hindrance of his. I know last year overall, he didn't have the same stuff that he had 2018 or we've seen in 2020. So it just wasn't a great season for him. But he's got high strikeout upside. He pitches for strikeouts in Coors Field so as not to get the ball in play, so that increases your upside. Texas has not K'd in a very, very high rate this year, but their offense is less than stellar. I forgot to ask you, I faded Texas completely last night, and they were not good. Were they as popular as you thought they'd be?
The top of their order was pretty popular. Bottom of their order was not popular. So, yeah, they got as expected.
Gotcha. What do you think Marquez's ownership will be today in Coors Field? I know people are always hesitant to use pitchers there.
They are, but I still think he gets a good amount of love here. I don't think he's like overwhelming chalk, but there just aren't a lot of good options on the slate. Now, that being said, people will flock to Corbett against Baltimore before Marquez.
Gotcha. All right, let's move along down there, talk a little bit of offense. Wiley veteran Evan Longoria recently busted out of a slump. He's matched up with Sean Manaea tonight. Now, I've been a Manaea fan, but there's no getting around it. He has been awful to start the year.
So you kind of got me on like going, not picking on Manaea, but the fact he's been so bad this year because you are a big Manaea fan, and he has been atrocious this year. I mean, his last start, he struggled to get out in the first inning against the Angels. San Fran's quietly still swinging hot bats. The one thing that San Fran does have, if nothing else, is righty power against lefties. Longoria is one of those main guys. He's hot right now. He homered yesterday. I like him quite a bit. It's a great matchup for him against a struggling lefty.
Sleeper stack.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Cole Calhoun. Not slim cut of Calhoun, but Cole Calhoun smoking hot at the plate right now. Sometimes you don't need to get more complex than this. Hot is hot. Past 4 games, 8-18 with 3 bombs.
We're going to talk about another piece of this game that is kind of the opposite of this, not hot at all. But I think it's important to bring up the offenses here because we saw last night, even though it didn't play out like many people thought it would, if the roof is open in Arizona with how hot it is there right now, over 110 degrees, it is a, hitter's paradise. Not quite like Coors Field, but still a place where you definitely want to look at hitters. Calhoun is red hot right now. Homered off Lamet, double or singled in his last at bat. Quantrill's a guy that he can definitely get hit. I mean, I don't want to sell my soul on the Diamondbacks here, but no problem picking a bat or 2 or 3 against him. And Calhoun's one of the main guys I'm looking at leading off.
Yeah, that's the thing is you just got to dive just a littlest bit deeper. Like Cal looks like he's pretty solid so far this year, but it's only 6 or 7 innings total he's pitched. I think it's a guy with an ERA over 5 last year and over 100 innings pitched. So maybe he's better. It's only his second year in baseball, but at this point, not at all like a guy you're scared to pick somebody against.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
All right, so you were right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm stupid. You're good looking. I'm unattractive. Yordan Alvarez had a big night last night. 22 points. Hit a grand slam in the first inning, right?
I think it was a 3-run homer. But
3-run homer.
Not like him, or did you just not think he'd be in the lineup?
I wasn't sure he'd be in the lineup, and I wasn't sure how primed he was ready for the season. Well, I like him overall. And 22 points to start the season is a hell of a way to get started.
It's not like you were the only one, man. Dusty Baker was talking before the game about how if Alvarez didn't look right, he was going to probably drop him down in the lineup. Well, he looked right.
Yeah, he's got big boy power. And I think just as a refresher, because I know people still really don't like the Astros, this kid has elite power. He's right up there with the premier power hitters in the game right now. He's, pretty solid against lefties despite being a lefty himself. He's very affordable for the upside. And the other thing you can think about right here is kind of more of a narrative type of thing is the Astros getting him back in the lineup is a nice way for them, something for them to kind of galvanize around and just kind of get rolling. Plus you just add another huge bat to that lineup.
Yeah, I love your point about elite power. He's not an elite hitter because he's just not that guy, at least yet. But his power, he's elite. Top 5 in terms of power in the league for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was an elite hitter last year. I guess it wasn't a big enough sample size for us to call him that, but the way he played last year was amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing. It's too quick to call him that guy. He's an elite hitter, but he certainly could be an elite hitter if he continues on the pace he did last year.
It's kind of like what we discussed in a way that prior to his injury last year, Christian Yelich had been a better hitter than Mike Trout for the last calendar year. If you go back the year before that, Mookie Betts had been a better hitter than Mike Trout for that calendar year. And maybe if you look at Bellinger last year, but all in all, Trout's always the second, third, or first best hitter in the league. So that sample size, that's why he's the king.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, wanted to call somebody out for you guys if you're looking for cap space today. The Washington Nationals had to put Castor on the IL, so they called up this kid, Luis Garcia, second base and shortstop eligibility. So you got the dual positions. The Nats offense is also much better when you have Juan Soto back. You add a top end hitter like Juan Soto, your lineup is just better, right? It just makes everything easier. Garcia had a couple of hits last night in the debut, but let's call it what it is. This is a 2K guy that you can get in your starting lineup today, assuming he's back out there, which I would assume he would be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's 2K. He had a couple hits yesterday. He's in a lineup that's definitely in play today. I'm glad you brought him just for the fact that he hits for the Nationals. He's 2K. Sign me up.
Yeah, did we mention that he's only 2K? Like that helps so much with your roster construction to get a guy this cheap out there. And also a guy who plays for, the Nats offense. We talked about how much weaker they were to start the year. Yeah, you're a lot weaker when you lose Rendon and Soto. Well, Soto's back now. Soto is, you can make arguments on where he ranks on the totem pole, but he's one of the game's better players. Big boy power. He just makes that lineup a lot better. And you get a really, really cheap guy in there against a pitching staff that's terrible.
I mean, I think Soto's like right up there with the Acunas of the world. Do you?
He's really good. Rank him third, seventh, 12th. I don't care. He's awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next up, you wanted to talk about Tommy Pham. So we're going to give you a bonus fifth hitter today just because we had a couple extra guys we wanted to talk about. So we'll throw your boy Tommy Pham out there.
So this is like a Bellman gut feeling special. He has not been good recently, but we at the 5-pack love us some Tommy Pham against left-handed pitching. Wanted to bring up some piece of the Padres who are in a good spot against the lefty tonight with the roof open in Arizona. Pham has not been great, but he did homer 2 days ago. He's got elite power and speed upside. And at 4K, I wouldn't forget him out of in a San Diego stack, and I'm also not opposed to him as a one-off at all. Again, we know how baseball goes. If he gets on base once here, he could pay off value by stealing a bag. I'm sure that will get him going. Far from a must, and I like him a lot more tournaments because he has been cold. But I'm willing to take a shot on a guy like him, specifically because I like his speed upside as well.
I think it's always easier to take a shot on a guy who's got GPP winning type of stuff. Draftkings specifically rewards two things. We talk about this every single day. They reward speed, they reward power. That's the problem with like the Nick Markakises of the world. I mean, they have to like drive in RBIs and score runs and like hit gaps and stuff like that. But if you have power and speed, I mean, a solo home run and then a walk and a stolen base comes out to 21 points. That's like 3 doubles and 3 RBIs. It is just so much easier to get those point totals when you run and hit for power.
Exactly. Like 3 doubles and 3 RBIs is like
to me, that's a way better real life day than a walk and a stolen base and a solo home run.
Agreed. They're both solid days, but like I would venture to say that 3 doubles is a lot rarer, which is
a
lot rare, like a lot.
Yeah, definitely, guys. All right, so that's what we got for you guys today. We're going to crush some members only here in a moment. If you want that video, go sign up for a membership. And actually, I think we'll probably get to overlay this afternoon or this morning as well.
Sweetness. Thanks, guys.